Well, back to Fog Racing here, bringing you the Austrian Grand Prix review, and thank fuck we're coming back here next week, because this race, it's why you miss F1. F1 most of the time delivers, you know what I mean? It was worth the wait, this race. Fantastic. We haven't watched it. We then go get yourself into your seat and watch it. But, I mean, admittedly, it was a bit depressing when Max retired and Merc are just so much quicker than everyone else, but they do have problems, you know what I mean? They do have reliability issues this year. I know you can say it's just the curves, but they also do have like reliability issues. But epic race, man. Leclerc getting a podium, Vettel spinning, Norris third. It's great seeing the midfield, like, even so close. You know what I mean? Like, the last couple of laps, I thought, fuck, anyone could win this. Actually, I thought Albon was going to win it, I'll be real. But then Hamilton decided, no, I'm going to take you out. But anyway, though, that's just the initial reaction. Let's get stuck in to the classification, brother. So, Valtteri Bottas won from Charlie Boy Leclerc. Then it was Norris, Hamilton, Sainz, Perez, Gasly, Ocon, Giovinazzi, says Giovinazzi in the Renault. Well, no, he's not in the Renault. Then Sebastian Vettel and Latifi. Only 11 finishers. Mental. Loads of reliability issues. But Hamilton got a penalty before the race kicked off. Totally deserved. I mean, why it didn't get brought out yesterday, fuck knows. The race starts off, you're thinking, well. Not much actually really happened at the start. Norris looked pretty good, and then he kind of slipped back. McLaren looked pretty shit, but then it kind of stabilised. I mean, the grid's definitely Merc, Red Bull, and then you've got your McLarens, your Racing Point, and Ferrari. Then I'd say Renault are just a wee bit behind them, because even though Ricciardo was up there, he retired. Ocon, to me, is better than what he's performing here. So that tells me that the car's pretty shit, or maybe just had an off day, who knows. But I was thinking about that. Verstappen though pulls over, and it's like, fucking hell, man, I thought the race was going to be brutal from there on out. So he comes in, then Stroll retires, and you're like, Jesus Christ, they're dropping like flies. Magnussen has a brake failure, he retires, that brings out the safety car. Then we get a bit of action. Safety car pulls in, Leclerc and Sainz are battling for about 6th. Vettel tries the most retarded dive bomb you'll ever see in your entire life. Like, Leclerc and Sainz are battling, he spins, Vettel literally back of the grid. I mean, Leclerc finishes 2nd, and this guy musters a 10th place when 11 people finished. And obviously, the retirements helped Leclerc, no doubt about it, but Leclerc dragged that Ferrari by the fucking scruff of the neck to that P2. You know what I mean? No, that Ferrari has no right to be P2, you know what I mean? It should be about 7th, 8th, that kind of region. But yeah, Vettel spins to the back, you don't really see much of him. Quite a few battling Hamilton and Bottas. Then their gearbox is critical throughout the race and shit, so that was entertaining, I guess. Grosjean then has a brake failure, he retires. Then Russell pulls over, another like gearbox hydraulic issue or something. Then we get a safety car from that, and then you're thinking, right, the order was both Mercedes, who haven't pitted, they're on fucking hards that are DUNNE, done. Then you've got Perez on mediums, but he didn't actually pit, he stayed out for some reason, which I don't get. He should have pit it. Then it was Albon on fresh softs, the rest of them. Safety car comes in, Raikkonen's tyre flies off in the road's head, and you're like, fucking hell, we're going to ever get this? Then the safety car goes underway. Albon overtakes Hamilton. But Hamilton, like, the more I look at it, I mean, I was like, Hamilton should get a drive-through penalty, right? He did take Albon out, but I don't know, I think 5 seconds is awful lenient, because I have no doubt in my mind Alex Albon wins this race if he overtakes Hamilton. Fresh, I mean, Red Bull, I mean, Merc is quicker, undoubtedly, but the hards were done. A Red Bull on a softs, I mean, if this was Max, fuck me, it would have been, everyone would have known it's over, I mean, but collision, Albon shafted, then he ends up retiring. Perez is battling with Norris, great battle in here. Leclerc overtakes both of them, puts himself up in the 3rd. Hamilton then gets a 5-second time penalty. Kvyat then retires. Then Perez gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Norris launches it on Perez, a bit risky, you could say. And then going into the last lap, Hamilton's about just over 5 seconds clear of Norris. He puts the foot down. Bottas comes across the line. Hamilton got really close to Bottas, so did Leclerc. in the end. Hamilton, though, at his wee points, hang on, is a penalty. Finishes 4th, Sainz finishes 5th, then it's Perez, and Gasly, Ocon, Giovinazzi, and Vettel. Perez, I mean, fuck knows why he didn't come in, put on a pair of softs. I mean, like, I honestly think, I guess they played it safe, like Ferrari and McLaren didn't want to put on used softs, but I don't know, like, I think if they put on the softs, we'd be looking at fucking a Charles Leclerc win here, you know what I mean? But really, it should have been Albon picking up the win, but in terms of the championship, obviously it's the same. Norris got fastest lap, so he's on 16, Leclerc on 18, but Bottas, crucially, has a 13-point gap over Hamilton, which is interesting. But I think crucially for Max, he's 25 behind Bottas and only 12 behind Hamilton. To me, that's crucial. And obviously Mercedes will lead the constructors. McLaren will be second, I believe. Yeah, and it's good for Alpha to get some points here. Latifi almost got points, but he didn't. And then Vettel. I mean, if this race doesn't prove to you why Ferrari got rid of him, who was on an outrageous contract for what he brings to the table, you know what I mean? I don't know where your head's at. I mean, look at Sainz doing well. You know what I mean? Obviously, him and Leclerc, better partnership. I mean, come on, Vettel was fucking shit that day. Spin aside, he shouldn't be finishing 10th, and that's the bottom line. So until next time, though, epic race. Can't wait for next week. Why to watch the aftermath on Sky F1, brother.